So I just wake up and I just so happen to look at the comments and it's looking kind of crazy. It's looking kind of crazy out here. So this is why I let the evidence, in a sense, speak for itself, right? So this person stated, and this is a reply to homeless advocate. Shout out to advocate, has been a part of this channel for a very long time. She stated, "Fake love from white men is better than no love from black men." So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not even going to finish the rest of that statement. Let's just go to what took place here. So we have on the right side, we have some evidence here to basically showcase what she is saying. She's saying that fake love from white men is better than no love from black men, right? They stated that Jackson previously told insiders that their relationship began with a steamy 3-night stand. Jackson later then told insiders in a July 2021 interview that he and Turner Smith had a strong sexual connection when they first met, although the Queen of Slim actress had previously revealed on Late Night with Seth Meyers that the pair had a passionate one-night stand after meeting. Jackson clarified to insiders that it was technically a 3-night stand. Quote, "I mean, when we tell the baby the story, I think I'm probably going to lead with, I saw your mother from across the room and just like knew I had to be with her," which is also true. But my wife is not telling a lie when she says that we started off mostly with sex. And she later stated in the highlighted part of the comment, "You can't fathom how a white man could love a black woman because you don't."
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Stop it. Get some help.
I am so embarrassed for my people today. I am so embarrassed for my people today.
Well, damn. Bitch, you guessed it.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Now, I just want to give a shout out to these brothers, Mahoko and Nori King, who already knew what it is and already know what's going to sit up there and happen. And like I said, they tried to give a friendly reminder and helpful hand to an individual, but they decided to still stay on the current path that they were, and they headed right for destruction. And I commend you guys for trying to be that helpful, but you can't help stupid people. It is what it is.
Let's go crazy!
Ren stated, "I got to disagree with you on this one. They are married, and that is his wife. I can understand that you think that his picture is distasteful, but the fact that you're bringing all these other racial issues into this picture is stupid. You seem jealous. This is her husband. I'm a big fan of yours, of your videos and content, but this video is stupid. You're just putting down this beautiful black woman for taking a picture with her husband. Not cool." Let's just dissect this real quick, right? First, you're going to sit up there and say that you disagree. No problem with that. Then later on, you're going to sit up there and state that I'm just jealous. Excuse me? Where do we get this from? Like, where specifically, if I can specifically point historically to different issues between black people and white people, and how those issues have stemmed into other things, right, negatively speaking. And then I'm bringing up how this photo is an objectification of a black woman, even though a black woman, I guess, okayed it. But like some other people pointed out in the comment section, which I didn't see a lot of, you have a power position here, right? You have the black woman who is naked, who is, all dolled up. And then you have the white man by her side with his hand directly on her naked body, staring directly at her. But look at that, he's fully clothed. Oh, look at the power play there. That's showing you the difference. That's showing you where the power actually is. that's showing you, right, who in a sense is the one in control, right? And then the other aspect that I listed right before is that at no point in time, should a woman, more specifically a black woman, seek validation, right, from men, because a black woman should be comfortable in the skin that she is in. She should already value herself. She should already respect herself. She should already acknowledge herself and her presence in this world as a black woman. And then on top of that, the other black woman who came before her should have been the ones to basically impart all of that knowledge into her, so that she wouldn't have to sit up there and take the stump, all of the stops, all of the bumps and bruises that comes along with having to learn lessons and having to learn about themselves as they walk through life. Like I said before, this is why it is very important, right, for those who come before to impart all of that knowledge and wisdom before they leave. Because if you don't, you have women just like this who have stated this main statement that I have above: the first men to make me feel beautiful were white men. She said that. She said that she did not ever feel loved, and that white men are literally the first ones to make her feel beautiful. She stated that before. If you don't believe me, go sit up there and look it up. So, like I said before, a lot of this stems from a person who is hurt and a person who has never validated themselves, right? Who has never found that type of acknowledgement and self love of themselves, right? This is why they set up their relationship was based off of sex. Yeah, they got some type of relationship, but they stated they basically first met at a party, and it was sex at first sight, not love. But like as another woman stated, right, it's completely fine to have, she would rather accept fake love from white men versus no love from black women. So this is the fake love that you're in a sense trying to body block for, and you're trying to say that I'm 100% jealous of. And then you got the nerve to sit up there and tell me that you are a big fan of my videos and my content. It seems like this is your first time really commenting. Like, yeah, I looked at your stuff. It said that you've been here for a year, but I don't really know who you are, because we ain't really have no conversations. If you were just staying in the back and you were just waiting for this moment, that's on you. I don't got nothing to do with that. I've had a multitude of videos that you could have easily chimed in on, but you decided that you wanted to be stupid enough to chime in on this one and try to critique me and make me seem like I am the problem. Oh, you're just jealous. You're not right for sitting up there critiquing this husband and this wife. And it's funny that you wanted to start off by stating that this is a husband and wife, and then after that, you were like, oh, you're just putting down this beautiful black woman. Really now, which one is it? Are we looking at this from an aspect of human beings, which you started off your comment as, or are we looking at this as a black and white thing? Which one is it? Like I said before, this is how people, like I said, people pay attention. This is how they start playing these games. People want to sit up there and start talking about, oh, these are human beings. And then when they really want to sit up there and get at you, right? It's like, oh, this is a black man talking. You're just trying to critically critique and harshly come at this beautiful black woman. See, look at that. That's the vilifying right there. That's the vilifying right there. When you give a critique and then you give some helpful advice, not only to black women in the same video, but also to black men as well, magically, you're still a villain. Like I said, you can't make this up. The proof is directly in front of you.
Another one.
So this person responded back to Mahoko. Don't care. Sorry, that's how I feel. I am a black woman and I disagree with what he has to say. Like I said before, I usually agree and I like his content, but I disagree with this one. Like I said, I feel like there's too much information directly in here. If you disagree, you just then disagree. Nobody asked you in the comment section if you were a fan, if you were a subscriber, how long you've watched the videos, how long you've been on. Nobody asked you any of that, but you decided that you needed to directly put that out there. I'm going to put this directly out there. I see that clearly you've been subscribed to a year. Great. Awesome. Kudos to you. But like I said before, for a whole year that I've been doing videos and live streams, We ain't had no conversations. I haven't really seen any type of interest, in a field of videos that I just so happen to have put out within that year. And the whole excuse of, well, I don't watch this, all the time, I just, subscribe and check it every once. Then don't sit up here and say that you like the content and that you watch the content if you know that you don't. Like I said, that's why I don't, in a sense, go by the whole subscriber, like the length of time that people have been subscribed, because almost in a sense, it doesn't even matter, because people will make up their own parameters on, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And then they'll decide to try to use this for a stance when they want to sit up there and make a point where they disagree. Like I said, it doesn't make sense. If you disagree, you just plainly disagree. But like I said in the video, the main thing is, this is a black woman, right, who is suffering due to the fact that the older black woman before her did not pass on that womanly knowledge onto her about self-love, knowledge of self, validation and respect. Nor, when she was taking her own journey, if you listen to her in certain articles, she'll state to you that in a sense she is a bit broken, she is a bit jaded. And that's because she doesn't have validation of self, right? She doesn't in a sense have 100% full respect of self. She doesn't have 100% full love of self and acknowledgement of self, right? She is not given that all to herself. So this is why, like I stated before, you have a lot of women out here seeking these things from men, because the women that came before them did not impart this womanly knowledge onto them. And for the other people that are going to say, oh, but if the father was involved, then this would have, nah. There's a certain type of love that a father can give. Yes, there's a certain type of information that a father can give. Yes, but that pales in comparison to the knowledge and the information that a woman has of being with, being married to, being in relationships with, and creating kids with men. That pales in comparison. So all of that history, all of that knowledge that those women have had to walk through, all of those bumps, bruises, and mistakes, it is for a black woman to sit up there and impart that onto the younger black girls, and especially more so, especially her daughters directly out there. Because I, as a man, I can't sit up there and impart all of that. I'm not a part, in a sense, of that world, right? I don't sit up there and carry kids for 9 months, right? I'm not the one sitting up here looking for, as women would do, a potential male suitor and different things of that nature. That's not me. That's not the world that I live in. So like I said before, the responsibility of that is on black women to sit up there and impart that wisdom and that knowledge, right, to the young black girls out there, and more so especially to their daughters, so that you don't have situations like this where you'll have a black woman out here, right, objectifying herself, hypersexualizing herself, right, in the world's lens. But like I said before, when you have a black man critiquing this and putting this information out there, nobody wants to listen to that. They always want to, oh, he's bashing black women, he's coming after black women, he's disregarding all of the violent things that take place to black women by way of black men. He's really? You're so hyped up on feeling, right? Like I said, feeling that I'm attacking black women, when logically, right, I'm critiquing this whole situation and scenario, breaking it down, showing you what led to what and how this could potentially be fixed so everything could be better. But like I said, you don't want to pay attention to that, because at the end of the day, I'm talking about your preference. I'm talking about where you want to be. Because realistically, a lot of the women who are, in a sense, talking sideways in the comment section, they want to be exactly where she is in that photo.
Here comes a new challenger!
So I just wake up and I just so happen to look at the comments, and it's looking kind of crazy. It's looking kind of crazy out here. So this is why I let the evidence, in a sense, speak for itself, right? So this person stated, and this is a reply to Homeless Advocate. Shout out to Advocate, has been a part of this channel for a very long time. She stated, fake love from white men is better than no love from black men. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not even going to finish the rest of that statement. Let's just go to what took place here. So we have on the right side, we have some evidence here to basically showcase what she is saying. She's saying that fake love from white men is better than no love from black men, right? They stated that Jackson previously told insiders that their relationship began with a steamy 3-night stand. Jackson later then told insiders in a July 2021 interview that he and Turner Smith had a strong sexual connection when they first met, although the Queen of Slim actress had previously revealed on Late Night with Seth Meyers that the pair had a passionate one-night stand after meeting. Jackson clarified to insiders that it was technically a 3-night stand. Quote, I mean, when we tell the baby the story, I think I'm probably going to lead with, I saw your mother from across the room and just like knew I had to be with her, which is also true. But my wife is not telling a lie when she says that we started off mostly with sex. She later stated in the highlighted part of the comment, you can't fathom how a white man could love a black woman because you don't.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Stop it. Get some help.
I am so embarrassed for my people today. I am so embarrassed for my people today.
Well, damn. Bitch, you guessed it.
Now, the rest of that I didn't decide to read because it's always the whataboutism. It's always about, oh, but look at what black men aren't doing in the community. Look at how detrimental black men are. Look at how black men aren't focused on black men. Why are black men always focused on black women? Why do you care what black women are sitting up there doing? It's none of your business what black women are sitting up there doing. You have no ownership over black women and yada, 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 yada. But like I said before, and also to note, matter of fact, let me put this very important part directly in here before I end this part. Let's read this together, class, right? Joshua Jackson calls out those criticizing Jodie Turner-Smith after he revealed that she first proposed to him. So let's just get this straight. He didn't propose to her first. We all know that when marriages normally take place, it is the man that makes the first step. It is the man that initiates all of these things because the man at the end of the day knows that, hey, all right, this is the woman I want to get married to. This is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is the woman I want to have kids by, right? This is the woman I want to have my last name. This is the woman I want to grow old with. So you mean to tell me, right? Out of all the conversations that I've ever heard from a lot of these black women out here where, oh, I got to do so much work. I have to do everything. I have to be this. I have to be that, and da 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 da. So you mean to tell me that you have a black woman here who was successful and she had to be the man in order to make the first step of the marriage take place? Huh? Huh? Because I can promise you that let that have been, which I have seen, let that have been a black man and a black woman, right? And they stated that the black woman was the one who initiated this. There will be so many black women online who would be talking down about that black woman and her relationship to that black man. And then there will be so many more women talking down about that black man and saying how he's not masculine enough, how he's not man enough, and what real man would allow a woman to do X, Y, and Z, and yada, yada, yada. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to you black men, where the black woman has to always be the man and always be strong and always be masculine and da, 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 da. Y'all lost your masculinity to the white man and da, da. That's exactly what would take place, right? But when it's the clear-cut reverse and it's somebody of a different ethnicity, it's completely fine for black women to just, do whatnot or whatever. They can be as strong as they want to be. They can do the masculine steps. It does not matter, right? Like I said before, all of this 100% sounds completely crazy to me, but we're going to continue on. So next comment, Viviana White stated exactly why in the world they keep attacking this woman. People didn't have anything to say when she was single. They don't have to justify themselves to anymore. Keep y'all commentary to the women who are getting used on in Dubai. Now, the funny thing is, you've had black men with a variety of platforms that actually touch on those things there, where you have black women who get flew over, right, to Dubai, where they are in a sense used as toilets, right? So you can put that where it may. Anything that basically goes on there is basically what happens to those black women. If you don't believe me, go watch some videos of other women who've gone over there, who will clearly explain to you what these men are into and what it is that they like, and how these women basically, get paid. And even when those stories get covered, you will still hear women talk about, oh, it's none of your business, it's their bodies, they can do whatever it is that they want to do, and yada yada yada. But like I stated before, but when it comes high time to come back home, magically your passport missing, magically your family hasn't heard from you, magically nobody has seen or heard from you. Now it's going to be, oh, why aren't black men talking about this missing black woman who went over to Dubai, and why is there no hashtags and no awareness from the black community? Oh, that's right, that's because black men really don't care what happens to. See, it's this either or type of game. Like I said, these are the games that they like to play. When black men want to show that they care, they want to I guess in a sense show some acknowledgement, or different things of that nature, however you want to put it. That's just the word that I'm using for right now. Magically is seen, even if it is concerned, is seen as problematic. It's seen as a serious issue, because why are you looking at and worried about black women? Like I said, none of this, like, these are the games that gets played out here. You can either, if you care about black women, you're still not doing enough, because you're not focusing on the black community and the problems that black men actually cause, and how detrimental black men are. If you're not focusing on stories dealing with black women, you don't care as a black man about black women. You clearly obviously date other women, you care more for other women. This is what I'm talking about with black men, and how they realistically don't care, and how whenever anything happens to black women, yada yada yada, black women are the most disrespected, and everything else under the moon. Like I said before, there's nothing. It's an either or, and they're both a losing situation for black men. There's no middle there. Nowhere in anything that I listed is there a middle. There's always a complaint on both sides. If you're a black man trying to do the right thing, complaints. A black man that's focused on the things that he's supposed to be focused on, still complaints. Like I said before, people can't even make up their minds on what it is that they want people to focus on. But even when they dictate to people, it's still a problem, even within them trying to dictate to people what they should still focus on. Like I said, and then also notice the language that was used. She called them, or whatever this person is, called them a certain type of thing, referenced them in a negative type of light to basically show a difference, right? The black women who go over to Dubai, they're a certain type of woman, right? While a woman here who is putting her body up there to be objectified by the billions of people on this planet, which, like I said before in the previous video, which black women complain about. But it's completely fine if a black woman objectifies herself, because it's her body and she's in control of it. Even though the irony within that is, the social media platforms, men, person taking a picture, men, that person that actually, if you go look at the photos, the person that was actually helping her with the makeup was a black man. The person signing the checks, a man. The person that is passing the checks through accounts, more than likely a man-owned bank. Like I said, over and over and over again, no matter how much you want to say that this is empowering and it's women taking back their power, you still have men profiting off of the image of a black woman being objectified to the public. She's not making more than any of the platforms that this image is basically showing up on. Olivia H stated, aren't they married? If it was a black husband and wife, we'd be silent or talking about black love. Stop. Well, I'm going to actually say this, right? Partially, you are correct. And I'm going to say partially, because yes, we would sit up there and say black love, because if you look throughout history, which I'm guessing you don't really pay much attention to, you don't really see positive images out there of black love. And I'm talking about since the inception of this country, because this country has done everything but put that image out there. But should black people actually expect them to, do that? No. So even when black people decide to put loving images up there of black families, what does the media do? They will make a counter narrative, sorry, and they will put out news talking about, oh, look at this negative stuff with black men. Look at what black men aren't doing. Look at what this black man did. Look at these black men criminals. Look at this black man getting arrested. Look at this black man doing this. Look at this black man doing that. Look at this black man not doing nothing. Look at this black man being a detriment. Look at this black. That's what they'll sit up there and do. So then, because they're critiquing this side, that means that black women are also going to look at that as well, because nobody's throwing critiques their way. So black women are going to automatically think that everything is completely fine and dandy, and they, along with the white-owned media, are going to continue to basically increase the amount of critiques and attacks directly on black men. So like I said before, when images of black love actually come up, usually the shots are very tasteful. I've seen them before on Instagram and I've liked them, where you basically see a naked couple, nothing is of course showing at all, and you will see like the baby bump, and you will see the black man holding the black woman, or you will see the black family, right, the little kids, all of them there, and they're holding the black woman's stomach, and she's dressed up, she has like a crown and braids and different things like that. So yes, we will sit up there and say black love, and rightfully so, because these are images that we do not get to actually see of our own people, of ourselves, right? We always idolize and acknowledge the images of white individuals whenever they go naked, whenever they want to do something extraordinary and different things of that nature. And acknowledged that yes, they are married, but I'm going to say this from a man's standpoint. At no point in time would I want my wife out here for the world to see. What your wife has is what you're supposed to be able to see, right? Now, the extenuating factors will go towards people who have open relationships, or those type of relationships where things are completely fine and dandy, and these are the things that they are into and turn them on. Completely fine and dandy. If that is you, fine, go ahead and do you, no problem. But that's not what we're talking about. We're looking at through a window where this all appears to be a what, quote unquote, marriage, right? Quote unquote normal. But the thing that is not normal is basically seeing this image where you have a black woman barely dressed up, her hair, done, upwards, her wearing like a crown tiara type of thing. She's smiling, innocent, almost looking like Olivia Pope. She's nude. And then you have a white man in a power position, in a suit, in a tie, or a tuxedo, in a bow tie, right, looking directly at her with his hand directly on her. That looks like objectification to me, whether she okayed this whole picture, or they okayed this whole picture. And the whole other aspect of dealing with history in this image, go back and do your history, look through the books, and see how many of the presidents, right, had a black wife, right? All of these white presidents, look at how many of them in those earlier days had a black wife, right, or a secondary wife. And look at all of those kids that they basically had and didn't acknowledge as well. And also, we can call them wives, but we realistically, I'm just being nice, because that's the word I have to use due to YouTube. We know exactly what took place with those black women, and how it is that those kids came directly about, and how those kids were never acknowledged, nor were they ever claimed at all, just like those black wives, quote unquote, that they had at that moment in time. So yet again, this is why this picture is, in a sense, detrimental, in a sense, because it speaks to that whole narrative. But like I said before, like a lot of people are saying, maybe I'm thinking too deep. Maybe I'm just worried about the wrong things. And me as a black man, I just need to solely focus on the things that black men do only, and that's it.
Here comes a new challenger.
You ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, aye, Captain. Oh, who looks like a dumbass from under the sea? Absorbing the ignorance from white men I see. Black man type hatred is something you wish. I swear to you, you can't make this stuff up. So SpongeBob came back yet again and stated that my commentary is so elementary. I mean, I guess so. In comparison to a person, a grown adult that named themselves after a cartoon character made by white people to put on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, and then along with that, your image is directly that of a character. So nothing is of ownership at all. You're marketing yourself after something that was marketed for children, and you're saying that my commentary is elementary. That's it. Hey. That's all you can do is just laugh at some of these comments at this point, because boy, oh boy.
Another one.
All right, guys, so here we go again. Obviously, this is the real adult in the room, so let's all pay attention. Do give it up. As Rice is white, I knew you didn't care about black women. You sit up on the white man's platform covering stories about black women and white men when it has nothing to do with you. The fact of the matter is that black women don't harm black men or white women, but because we don't choose you, right? You in all caps. You think you have the right to chastise us. What black women do outside of the black community has nothing to do with you. If black men focus on cleaning up the black communities and stopped quilling each other, black stands would be much better place. Now, the funniest thing is, whenever I happen to see comments like this, I always imagine what these people look like. Right, and then I always try to fathom where these people actually live, because a person like this doesn't actually seem or sound like they ever grew up or lived in a black area. It always sounds like they might be privileged or might have grown up in a well-off or a well-to-do type of neighborhood, pretty much going to schools that are specifically all Caucasian, with a sprinkle of different ethnicities such as Asian and Pacific Islanders, such as maybe some people who claim to be Native American, maybe some black people or black people who might be African or Caribbean descent or different things of that nature. Right. This is pretty much what I picture when I read comments directly like this, because even if, right, I go from the standpoint of Detroit, a lot of people could happen to look at Detroit and happen to say, oh yeah, black people aren't doing anything, right? Black men aren't really doing anything. But you're looking at it, right, through a snow globe type of view, and you're not specifically in there, right, beyond the dome, right, walking with the little miniatures that are part of the snow globe. So of course you can sit up there and just like look as a whole, be like, oh, let me shake up the snow globe. Look at this, all you see is snow. These black people aren't doing anything. The black community isn't doing anything. You can't even sit up there and see beyond anything because you're just looking from the clouds, from Mount Olympus, right? Versus actually being with black people, having conversations with black men and young black men who are actively doing things in the community, who are actively working with the black community, who are actively cleaning up the streets, talking to young black men, trying to perform gang reform, jail reform, prison reform, right? Trying to get a lot of those black men out there back into school so that they can get their diploma or their GED, so that they can turn their lives around in a variety of things like that. Like I said, if all you want to do specifically is find and talk about and critique the negative things that black men are doing and that they aren't doing, you're easily going to be able to find that beyond a shadow of a doubt. On top of that, mainstream media has made sure to help you out with that since the early 1900s. So, like I said before, a lot of this, commentary that I receive is almost childlike in nature, because this is the type of angle that a child will come with when it's basic in nature. because nothing in here is, of a higher level. It's more so to do with, oh, you're a black man, you're critiquing, stay in your place as a black man, don't worry about anything ever that black women are doing because it's none of your concern at all. Just stick to building up the community, fixing the things that you have broken, and different things of that nature, right? But like I said in the previous comment, the moment in the time that and this is a person that's making it seem like they care about black women, right? But the moment in the time that something negative happens to a black woman and it's by her preference that looks like this guy right here, guess what? All of these divestors, they're completely silent. They're not saying nothing on social media. They almost, in a sense, erase that the person even existed because they ignore it so much that it's deafening. You can clearly see it because I've done a multitude of stories covering cases like that. And it's deafening how none of those divestors will acknowledge the fact that these things do happen, nor will they speak out about it, nor will they form some type of coalition or group to basically speak out against these things happening, nor will they go to their preferences and have them basically speak out for them. But when anything basically goes wrong with that, you know who they're going to blame at the end of the day? It's a black man's fault because this would have never happened if black men would have loved black women first.
Another one.
And this is where we come to the part of the video where if you allow a person to talk long enough, they will show you exactly who they are, right? So SpongeBob yet again stated, I agree, but in typical black man fashion, they'd rather talk about black women instead of gearing up for war. What's disgusting are the countless of videos showing black men crying because they can't get on a train in the Ukraine because they failed to fight. They suck up resources but don't want to fight. So hold on, wait, hold on. So we're throwing two different issues in here, right? So we're talking about this issue and how it is seen as objectification, right? So then to deflect from that whole thing and the history, we then fly over to a current thing that's taking place over in a European country, right? The Ukraine, between Ukraine versus Russia, where you have Africans. Now notice how this person was like, oh, you have black men. No, champ. No, that's not how we're doing this. These are Africans from Africa that went over to the Ukraine, and they have, inevitably been left behind, misused and mistreated, right, by the far right type of individuals that are directly over there, right? They are the ones that are having those issues. Black men in America are not having those issues. There's two different groups here. Two different groups. Me, myself, as a black man, I'm not over there in Europe. I'm not over there in the Ukraine at this moment in time. Like I said, that's not us. Like I said, you need to, you might want to do a little bit better. If you're going to try to masquerade as something, I need you to actually do a little bit better, on that, right? Because you almost had me. You almost had me, right? But like I said, in the back of my mind, I knew. I just had to wait for you to actually show who it is that you really are, right? And then you wanted to state that, right? Black men crying because they can't get on a train in the Ukraine because they fail to fight. What? Fail to fight? That doesn't make any sense. Those Africans weren't allowed on the train because the Ukrainians allowed their people on the trains first to basically escape, and then they allowed the Africans there to basically stay there, knowing the fact that war was imminent, knowing the fact that danger was imminent, knowing the fact that a threat is clearly present, right? That's what took place. This is why I love actually doing the news, because I know what it is that I'm talking about, because I've covered these things before, unlike stupid people leaving stupid comments, right? And then you want to go into the whole thing of they suck up resources but don't want to fight. How exactly are you fighting? Let me just straighten you out real quick. I covered an article where the Ukrainian government basically stated that if Africans wanted to come over and help fight in the Ukraine, they had to pay up $1,000 in order to join the efforts. The reason that you see a lot of those African men, in a sense, as you say, crying, because some of them have families. They were also working over there in the Ukraine so that they can make more money and bring that directly back to their families, their homes, their villages, what have you. And now they, in a sense, lost all of that. So now they're trying to find another way to earn more money, which is to basically help fight in a war that specifically, realistically, doesn't have anything to help do with them. But they're like, I need the money, we need the money, so I'm going to go out here and fight because we need the money. But you say that they just suck up resources. Case in point, you want to talk about sucking up resources? The most detrimental group that has been on this planet, that has in a sense destroyed this planet, that has been the most toxic and the most chaotic on this planet is not black men, as you would want to sit up there and call it. It's your preference. So like I said before, good job on trying to deflect. The greatest trick the devil ever played was to make the world think that he didn't exist. Good job. All right, so Marge Baby stated black men preference. Example, Kim K. Do this all the time. She's married and her white husband is with her in the picture. So I don't understand why this picture is bothering people. She asked him to marry her. He said yes. There's a problem. She had a baby by him. There's a problem. She talked about her insecurities. There's a problem. She's naked. There's a problem. If we mind our own black business, the world will be a better place. We got a whole war going on and can turn into World War III. And we're talking about Jody T, a whole grown married woman choice she made with her husband. All right, now respectfully speaking, looking at the image, I can tell that you are a older black woman, right? So I would technically expect that your comments would, in a sense, be a bit wiser, right? Because you would have an understanding of black women, right? You've grown up as a young black girl. You've grown up as a young black woman into a full-fledged black woman. You've had to walk through a lot of different things and obstacles in your life in order to get to the point where you are at this moment in time. So I would expect you, more than a lot of other people, to know history when it deals with race, when it deals with the treatment of black women specifically, dealing with this image and how, black women were always seen and deemed as property. Like I said, go back to slavery, go back to a lot of these first presidents and the secondary black wives that they had, or the many black wives that they had during those times. And I'm being nice using that label because we all realistically know exactly what it is. Go back to Sarah Bartman, go back to the human zoos, go back to the medical society and how it was that a lot of the intricate workings of the human body was found out because they experimented on black women, and they did this to black women without any type of anesthesia or putting them to sleep or anything like that, because they felt that black women could take more pain or didn't feel anything, or that they weren't human to begin with. So like I said before, I list all of those things because I expect a woman, a black woman of your caliber, right, of your age, to clearly know what it is that I am talking about. And you should be able to decipher that, right, and dissect that and keep certain things in a certain place and put, other things in a whole, another place. And then on top of that, you brought up Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is Armenian. She is not even a black woman, but you're trying to label her as black men's preference. Let me show you something real quick. The funniest thing about Kim Kardashian is that when she first began, she didn't have no shape to her, right? And she roughly looked normal, right? After I said May J. After Ray J basically made her who she is, right, from that tape that was released, her mom, right, being the smart woman that she is, took that tape, marketed that tape, got them a talk show, got her daughter famous, got her daughter a book deal, got her daughter more money, right? Got her daughter into fashion, And then from that tape, that exact same tape, made the whole rest of the family, all of those women are rich off of one tape. One tape. And why did that tape exist? That's because a black man sat up there and made that girl famous, because she was not famous to begin with. And because that black man sat up there and made her famous, that's when you saw everybody else jump on the bandwagon to basically be with her. Before that point in time, nobody was sitting up there paying attention or looking at a Kim Kardashian. And then on top of that, to further take that to an even further point, you have a lot of black women trying to emulate the body type that Kim Kardashian has, even though this is a body type naturally given, God-given, universally given to black women. See how confusing that is? Black women are trying to emulate an Armenian woman who is emulating black women, and black women are trying to emulate an Armenian woman trying to get that same body type. Wow. That's where we are at this moment in time. And then to take it to a further extent, you want to sit up there and talk about we need to mind our own black business and we need to worry about World War III. Russia is European. Ukraine is European. This has nothing to do with black people in America up until it gets to that point. So when you said mind your own black business, like I said, mind your own black business. If you really want to get involved realistically, right, with that conflict that is going on, then you should go over there and get involved in that conflict. I promise you that you're not going to do that, which means realistically, you don't even really care. You just wanted to bring that up just to deflect away from the topic and from this black woman, because you feel that if one black woman is getting attacked, then all black women are getting attacked, when clearly that is not the case. We're talking about a specific black woman at a specific time in this very specific picture at this moment. But like I said, let's continue on with the deflection. Ronald Marshall stated, "You are just petty. Get over yourself." Nah, realistically, I'm not. I have my reasons for specifically, doing these topics and talking about, these things. Me being petty is actually me showcasing and listing dumb comments and, putting those directly together. But, I guess, it is what it is. But like I said, let me know that you care about this topic without telling me that you actually care about this topic or what it is that I'm talking about. That's exactly what you did. So I guess we're in the same boat here, Bucko. Guess we're in the same boat. So again, I had asked people, what does this picture say to you? What does it speak, right? And one person stated a husband and a wife, right? Then you have the comments underneath. Why are they mad? Meaning black men, right? Because she's black and he's white. People are so sad. Of course, the cartoon character from Nickelodeon stated, black men don't know what a husband and wife is, and they are so adorable. It's completely funny. Like I said before, if you pay very close attention and you allow somebody to speak, they will show you exactly who they are. Like I said, I've showcased this character's right comments before. And as they keep going, they'll keep basically telling you exactly who it is. And they're basically stating that black men don't know what a husband and a wife is, as if to basically say that all the homes that black people grow up in are broken homes. So are you telling me that black men, specifically only little boys who are raised, don't know what, this family setting is because the black man is always not there? So to basically, in comparison, you're saying that when it's black girls being raised, they know what a husband and a wife looks like because the black man is always there. Like I said, like the comments that people leave, it's like people don't even really think out the things that they say before they say it. They just decide to say things because it looks cute, right? Because it's a good way to sit up there and throw a shot and a jab, right? Like I said, all of this is nonsensical. And I've told people before, if your preference is a certain type of individual, then that is what it is at the end of the day. But the moment and the time that you decide to try to put it into a trophy type of aspect versus it being I'm happy, this is my relationship, it is what it is, that's when we basically have a problem. Because as I stated before, and I keep putting this exact same comment that she stated, was she stated that the first men to make her feel beautiful were white men. That's the whole main thing right there. And like I stated before, from the article, and they've stated from their own mouths. Her husband stated that, yo, we basically sat up there and met, and our first connection was basically sex. And then after that, we had 3 other times we sat up there and just met up. And then after that, you know, we formulated a relationship. But yeah, we originally met off of sex. Wow. Wow, look at that. That's quite amazing. Okay. Anyways. But anyways, beyond the foolishness, let me know what you guys think about all of these comments and anything that I said in the commentary in the description area below. I'm sorry, in the comment section below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.